Good morning, Dawgpound South campers. This is a day early edition of the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network, because right now it's snowing here in Nashville, and there is a possibility for freezing rain. And if we get anywhere between a quarter of an inch and a half an inch of freezing rain, there will be power outages. Um, been through this before here in Nashville. The worst one was 1994. We were without power for roughly 17 hours, and we were one of the lucky ones. The only reason we got power quickly is because there's a huge retirement home, like 2 blocks from here, and we're on the same grid as they are. And they work diligently to get the power in this area up and running again because of that retirement home. So I thought, well, since I'm not going anywhere, obviously, it's a balmy 18 degrees, feels like 7. Fantastic. I thought I'd just knock this out today because tomorrow I may be sitting in my living room bundled up next to a fire, drinking cold coffee or probably cold tea because my coffee maker won't work. Well, that's the worst thing about losing power is I can't have a nice cup of coffee. And speaking of coffee, I'm brought to you by Hemisphere Coffee, where they shake the hands of the farmers. Okay, let's talk about the never-ending coaching search of the Cleveland Browns and some of the crap that's being put out there and the obsessive paranoia of Browns fans. First of all, I hear Mike McDaniel this morning turned down interviewing with the Bills for their head coach. Man, they must have a clown show of an organization. Well, after seeing their owner in that news conference, I'd be a little hesitant to work for them as well. Whew, man, that was rough. Now, the Browns really, truly wanted to have a second interview with McDaniel. They consider he has an innovative mind, and they really wanted to pick his brain. They were interested in hiring him as a head coach. I don't blame him for going to LA and work for the Chargers. You got Justin Herbert, and it's Los Angeles. Also, the reason he's turning down head coaching jobs is because he wants to showcase his offensive abilities immediately in the best situation, where people can see what he can do. So he's not going to go to a team and be a head coach in colder weather. It makes perfect sense for him to go out to LA. And it's the right situation. Let's face facts. Playoff team. As much as I hate the Harbaughs, Jim Harbaugh is a good coach. So he can go there and immediately show the rest of the league his offensive abilities, how to do an offense, and it will happen quickly with a veteran team like that. So it wasn't a snub at the Browns. It's not a snub at the Bills. It's just the best situation for him to immediately get back to be a head coach in the next cycle, probably. If he can go out there and they could, I don't know, win a playoff game with Justin Herbert, yeah, he'd get head coaching nods next week. As for the other candidates, still don't know anything about Udinski. It's going to take a couple days to hear how the interview went. It seemed like it was a long interview, though, because I was listening to Cleveland Browns Daily, and Nathan Zagura said he saw him in the building. Now, that's like 2 o'clock my time. And it was something like, what was it, 7:30, 8 o'clock, when the Browns announced that they were done with the interview. Man, that's a long interview. Of course, he's going to meet with the Bills on Sunday. But Jim Schwartz still remains squarely in the mix. According to my guy, he displayed excellent communication and organizational skills. So, and like I said on the show Thursday, he knows the mistakes he made in Detroit. A lot of people are thinking, well, he's going to come in and be a football guy. Well, he believes in analytics. He learned them from Bill Belichick because Bill Belichick believes in analytics. And the one thing he has going for him, besides the great defense, well, good defense. I'm not going to call it great. I'm going to call it good defense. Is he and Andrew Berry were in Philadelphia together. So he does believe in analytics. I hate to tell you people this, but he does. The Moken interview still is a mystery to me. I don't get it. I hear that the Browns think he is good at developing young offensive players. That's the only thing I can think of. I wasn't impressed with him when he was here when he was in Cleveland. I don't know. And his offense, well, the first couple of years in Baltimore were pretty good. He did turn Lamar Jackson around at first, but then it got kind of stale. So I don't know what the big deal is about Moken. I don't get it. So yeah, I still have a cold. So we'll see what happens with that. But they're going to talk to Nate Scheelhaase on Monday. And I really think Udinski is the front runner here. But I have to wait and hear how his interview went first. Let's take a quick break and we'll talk about the process. All right, a lot of big deal was made over I can't remember his name. He was on the Rich Eisen show and all this crap coming out. I was told, and this is what I was told, the Browns present challenges and scenarios to their candidates. They're looking for the right coach, a football coach, a leader, a legit manager, a delegator, an identifier of talent, and how to utilize it. That's what they're looking for. I'm fine with that. Look, you got to get the right guy. This is it. Andrew Berry knows this is it. Jimmy Haslam knows this is the opportunity to take care of this. They can fix the offense in free agency in the draft like they fixed the defense. So right now, I think it's between Schwartz, Udinski, and we'll have to wait and see about Scheelhaase. Now, Schwartz is going to take he's going to have, if he is the head coach, I'm going to be interested to see who he hires as not only his offensive coordinator, his quarterback coach, which is very important, and his offensive line coach. I want to see if he keeps any of the guys. I would not object to them keeping the offensive line coach. I think if he had better talent to work with. I mean, I definitely saw an improvement in KT Levinson. And as you know, if you've listened to my podcast, you know I was when he first got signed and played, I was not a big fan of KT Levinson, but he got better. Now, is he a starting right tackle? Not yet. Could he be? He could possibly be a good swing tackle. That's would be DeJuan Jones's job if he could stay healthy. But the Browns need to go out and get a left tackle in free agency, either pay for it or trade for it, but they got to get a starting left tackle. You can get your right tackle in the draft. You can get your right tackle in the first round in the draft. So then all you got to do is you got to later down in the draft, you can pick up a guard. They got to find a center. They have to find a center. I am not putting any money on Ethan Posick. Luke Whippler's hurt again. So they're two big priorities, left tackle and center. Got to find starting left tackle and center in free agency. So, and a lot's being made over the Rooney Rule. Look, they don't have to report to the media who they interview. All they got to do is report it to the league. Okay? The Browns take the Rooney Rule seriously. They take it for what it was intended for, to give minorities an opportunity to be coaches in the NFL. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, just plug this in, plug that. No. The Browns aren't going to do that, and they shouldn't do that. That's not the way the Rooney rule works. Now, as for finding a minority, if they haven't done one that we don't know about, a lot of people say, well, who's going to come in? Who's going to want to come in? Listen, minorities know that this is tilted not in their direction to be a head coach. I mean, look at the Giants and look at Atlanta. They shuffled in a couple of minorities and shuffled them back out and hired the white retread coaches that they were going to hire in the first place. There are minorities out there who realize that to go through an interview, to know what's coming, to go through your first interview for an NFL head coach, that prepares you for the next time you take an interview for a head coach. And, these front offices, they talk to each other. The agents talk to the other front offices. If the next hiring cycle or continuing in this hiring cycle, if a candidate comes in and has a fantastic interview, their agent's going to tell the other teams, hey, man, my guy interviewed for the Browns head coaching job. It wasn't just a setup interview. He really, really had a great interview, and opportunities could come up. Better coordinator jobs could come up. So I'm not concerned about the Rooney Rule, and I'm also not concerned about getting this done quickly. It's not a race, people. They're trying to find the right coach. I have no problem with the process, okay? Barry was part of the front office that wanted to hire McDermott. And all of a sudden, sorry, I lost my train of thought. All of a sudden, they kept Hugh Jackson. Is that what you want? I was told not to panic by a guy who knows people inside the front office. So I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to be one of those Browns fans that sit there and immediately hear something, concoct some big conspiracy theory, how this is the worst thing that can ever happen. If this report had come out about Pittsburgh or Baltimore, people would be saying, oh, how innovative, how incredibly innovative. That's why these teams or these franchises are always winning. Until you've done this for a living, and I never have, and none of Browns fans ever have. This isn't fantasy football. This isn't Madden. Unless you've done this, don't comment on it. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. So, what comes next? Well, I fully expect a Nate Shieldhouse interview on Monday. I can't wait to hear how the Udinsky interview went. So I'm going to be patient. I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to go on social media and condemn something I don't know about because someone said they think they know about it. They don't know about it. This is a process. It's not a race. I keep telling you, it's not a race. Panicking will get you nowhere. So that's it for this morning on this snowy, wonderful day here in Nashville, Tennessee. Oh, hey, Jeffrey. Well, yeah. It's a very good point here. I'd ask. Kenny Coleman is not. I can't believe he's very happy right now because the owner. What the hell? You got 32 people who are just. They are flaky as flaky can be. These owners don't really know what's going on in the real world. They don't. They're billionaires, old billionaires. What the hell do they think they know? But that's a great point. Why not? Give them a call. I'm sure he's not happy. Also, did you hear about Mond, the quarterback with Minnesota? Kevin O'Connell didn't like the pick, so he doesn't talk to him. Is that dysfunctional? Are the Buffalo Bills dysfunctional? So, that's another good point. Jeffrey, on point. Yeah, 500 yards for a rookie season. Ain't bad. It's not bad. I mean, nobody's going to burn it up like Lamar Chase. But for a rookie, that's not bad. Yeah, I'd give him a call, see what happens. I'm sure he's not too happy with Buffalo. So you got other franchises that are just wacky. Like Samuel keeps saying about Dallas and Jerry Jones. He's on the radio every week, and he sounds insane. Okay, that's it for today. Sorry about my cough. But this has been the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. I'm your host, Steve Gill. I will ignore everything on social media that concerns this ridiculous report coming off of Rich Eisen. I know better, and Browns fans should know better, but they won't. They want Barry gone, just like they wanted Dee Podesta gone, just like they wanted Kevin Stefanski gone. Now all of a sudden, everybody who wanted to fire everybody is in a hurry to hire somebody, even though everybody told everybody that wanted to fire everybody that there weren't a lot of qualified candidates out there. Make that make sense? No, it doesn't. It doesn't make a damn bit of sense. So that's it for me today. Hopefully I'll have power tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have power this evening. And I hope everyone out there who's in the eye of this storm plays it safe. For those of you getting snow, fantastic. For those of you like me getting freezing rain, it's gonna be a mess. So if you don't have to get out, don't get out. All right. I've been through a ton of these down here in the South. And yes, the grocery stores are already empty. I don't know why everybody has a craving for French toast when it snows. Makes no sense. All right, everybody. God, sorry. Everybody have a great day. And go Browns. I appreciate you listening, following, and subscribing here at the Fanatical Elves Network. So everybody, have a great day. Please, please, please be careful. And as always, go Browns.